going on, everybody, and welcome back to the Hangout Spot where you already know it's Real Talk Sports Talk, live from my man cave. It's your boy Johnny, and let's talk some football because NFL Championship weekend, it's a wrap. Two great games, and now we are down to the final two teams. They are going to represent the AFC and the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in Las Vegas, Super Bowl 58, and it's actually going to be a rematch of a game that we saw 4 years ago. You got the Kansas City Chiefs, again, going back to another Super Bowl, the defending Super Bowl champions. Impressive win yesterday against the Ravens. They are going up against the Niners, the San Francisco 49ers, who looked dead in the water in the first half and then just completely came out of the tunnel in the second half as a different football team. They come back and they beat the Lions. We will get into that game in a second, but let's start with this first one. And I got to be honest with you. They win this game 17-10. Yeah, Mahomes was impressive. Made some key throws like he does. That's what he does. He's the best quarterback in football for a reason. Travis Kelce was impressive. 11 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown. Actually broke Jerry Rice's postseason reception record, a record that most people thought wouldn't be broken by the best receiver to ever do it. He is now number one in that department. But the story to me in this game was the Chiefs' defense against a Ravens offense. That was one of the best in the league all year. The Ravens came into this game as the most complete team, the best team statistically in football record-wise. Lamar Jackson will arguably be named the MVP in another week and a half. But the Chiefs defense, they came to play. And I said in my prediction video earlier this week that the Chief front four needed to show up, and they did. For the most part, they held Lamar into the pocket, and they win this football game. They forced 3 turnovers. They got Lamar Jackson on a strip sack to fumble, and they recovered. But the biggest play to me was that fumble at the 1 yard line. A ball that Zay Flowers was trying to get across the plane after catching it. And that's a football play that most wide receivers are going to try to make. They're going to try to get that ball over the plane and score that touchdown. And right before he got that over, was punched out by cornerback Snead. Perfect play. Perfect defensive play. I don't even blame the receiver for that, man. He's trying to do what he needs to do to get into the end zone, and the corner just perfectly punched it out right before it crossed the plane. That was a huge play. That was 7 points right there that the Ravens were unable to pick up on that drive. And when you're playing against the Chiefs, man, you just can't make those type of mistakes. Lamar Jackson, again, he wasn't good for the most part. He passed the ball 37 times, but he didn't even complete 55% of his passes. He threw for 272 and a touchdown, but he also threw a big interception late in that game in triple coverage. You got to think, what was he looking at? Not good. And this was the number one rushing team coming into this game. Only 81 yards on the ground. 20 yards by Gus Edwards, their running back. That's just not enough. I mean, if you're going to go into that game with a game plan offensively to try to shoot it out with Mahomes, not many people are going to win that. Wasn't John Harbaugh's best coach game. And this is a team, like I said, that normally does it right. They're disciplined. They're focused. They execute properly. But yesterday, they were just undisciplined. A lot of penalties, roughing the passers, unsportsmanlike conducts. I mean, things, like I said, that are uncharacteristic from a John Harbaugh coach team. Todd Monken, again, wasn't his best play calling game as the offensive coordinator. But you got to give kudos to the Chiefs defense, like I said. 3 turnovers, 4 sacks. Chris Jones didn't have a sack, but he was constantly putting pressure in the backfield. Great tackling. I mean, they only gave up 1 big play, and that was a great play by Lamar Jackson to escape a sack and throw the ball 30 yards down the field and get Zay Flowers on a touchdown. But other than that, they didn't really give up any other big plays. So kudos to them, man. And once again, like I say, when the lights are the brightest, This is when Mahomes shows up to play at his best. 30 for 39, 241 yards and a touchdown on a dime of a throw to Travis Kelce in the corner of the end zone. Perfectly thrown ball, great catch. Defender was literally right all over Travis Kelce, but again, Mahomes puts it exactly where it needs to be. And then Travis Kelce does his job, he does the rest. They were sensational, man. Just big throws after big throws, just improvising, moving out of the pocket, taking what the defense gives him. Running yesterday a little bit, even though he knew he was going to get hit. But he ran for a couple of first downs. Great accurate throws, moving to his left, throws to his right. I mean, these are the things that, Patrick Mahomes is just a special player to watch. I'm not a Chiefs fan, but I love watching him play. And if he continues down this path and continues to win, and even if he wins next week, a third Super Bowl, we got to start talking about him being possibly mentioned as the GOAT when it's all said and done. And I know there's more to be done, right? To surpass Brady as far as championships, but there's certain things that Mahomes does in the pocket as a quarterback that Brady could not do athletically, man. This guy's special. He's fun to watch. I know a lot of people are frustrated because they don't want to see the Chiefs in another Super Bowl. Personally, I don't mind it, especially if I'm going to see these type of talented players play, because you got talent all over the field next week. Isaiah Pacheco, another game in the playoffs with another rushing touchdown. He continues to run like a man possessed. But, kudos to Andy Reid, kudos to Mahomes, Kelce. They're going back to try to defend their title, go back to back. And if they do that, then you got to consider them a true dynasty, which is rare to see in today's sports. And like I mentioned earlier, next stop is Vegas against a familiar foe, the San Francisco 49ers. And to be honest with you, it was not looking good for the Niners in the first half. It's a little concerning. The Niners went into the playoffs as one of the best offensive teams. And this is the second playoff game in a row where they've only managed one touchdown. And then they decide to turn it up on the second half. It's a dangerous game to play against the Chiefs. You would think that they're going to need to start a lot faster, but we'll go over that when we do our Super Bowl preview video later this week. But anyhow, the Lions, man, I picked them to win this game because I thought that with the way they've been playing, momentum was on their side. They were going to come in and they were going to start fast. And boy, did they did. They came out guns blazing. They led this game 24-7 at the half. I thought this game was over. I really did. But again, the Niners come back and they do what they need to do in the second half. And then there were a couple of questionable play calls by Dan Campbell that I felt helped turn the momentum to the other side, especially on his decision in the third quarter to go for it on a 4th and 2 with a chance to go up by 3 scores. At that point, they were up 24-10. You kick the field goal, they're going to go up by 17. But I guess he wanted to go for the jugular. Figured we get this first down. They're not going to stop us. We're going to score a touchdown. And we're going to go up by 3 scores. And we're going to go for the kill. And that's what Dan Campbell does. That's what he's done all season. Didn't surprise me. But in this particular game, for a chance to go to the Super Bowl, you got to also feel the timing of it. Third quarter? If it would have been the fourth quarter, I would have saw a little bit more justification in it. But there was just too much time left. Drew up a pass play. It should have been complete. Goff put it where it needed to be. The receiver dropped the ball. But those are things that happen. That's why you can't take a chance. Kick that field goal, go up by 17. You kick it into the end zone. Let the Niners start at the 25-yard line and go across the field. Instead, miss out on the fourth down, and then you know what happens there. Usually, always happens. You got a sense that it woke up the Niners, man. Then they drove down the field. Beautiful throw by Purdy to Ayuk in the end zone. And then on the next possession, it started to unravel. Lions ball. They fumble. Give it right back to the 49ers. Brock Purdy, big run for a first down on that drive. And then Christian McCaffrey, he takes it in from there. Another great game by CMC. 90 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. But the thing that impressed me the most was the way Purdy was using his legs. I would have expected Lamar Jackson to do that in the first game. Purdy did it in the second game. He looked like Lamar Jackson. 5 rushes for 48 yards. And again, these were runs, 15, 20-yard runs that were moving the chains. They were just momentum killers for a defense that was otherwise playing pretty hard. Passing the ball, he made some good throws in the second half as well. Personally, I think he's a little bit more than a system quarterback, but he's going to have to shed that, and he's going to have to do it in some of these big games. I mean, next week is a big opportunity for him to be able to show up and say, I'm not just a system quarterback. I'm a quarterback, and now I'm a Super Bowl champion quarterback. This week, he was 20 for 31. Almost 65% of his passes were complete, 267. He threw a bad interception, but he also threw, again, a dime touchdown to Ayuk. Nick Bosa on the defensive end continues to be impressive. Another 2 sacks, putting pressure on Goff. And Deebo Samuel, he played. There were a lot of. I thought he wasn't going to play because of an injury, but he played and he was big. He contributed 8 catches for 89 yards. The Niners have weapons. The Chiefs have weapons. They're familiar. I know they don't play each other all the time, but this is the second time they're going to play each other for all the marbles. That doesn't happen too often. Kyle Shanahan, this is his second Super Bowl. First one against the Chiefs, he lost 31-20. Jimmy Garoppolo was his quarterback. A lot different of a situation here now. But what Shanahan wants to do is he does not want to follow in his father's footsteps. Not in this one. I mean, Mike Shanahan, if you remember, lost his first 3 Super Bowls before he won back-to-back Super Bowls with the Broncos. So Kyle Shanahan's going to want to break that. He doesn't want to be 0-2 after this one. But this one's going to be a tough one. Again, the defending champions, who's on the other side of the football field, but I think it's going to be a great game, just like the first one was 4 years ago. In fact, I think the Niners were winning that game at the half, if I'm not mistaken, late in that game, and then Patrick Mahomes and company took over. So we'll see if this one can be any different. We're actually going to be doing, like I said, a separate video to preview this Super Bowl, where I'll give you the keys to victory on both sides, and then I'll give you my prediction, so make sure you tune in for that. And if you're new to watching my videos, as always, please subscribe. That way you can come back more often and hang out with your boy here in the hangout spot. This is how we do it up. Can't wait. Pumped up for the Super Bowl. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And as always, I appreciate you watching. Appreciate your support. This is your boy Johnny signing out from the hangout spot. Enjoy the Super Bowl in 2 weeks. Talk to you soon.